I fed you today, you little fucking testicle with eyeballs? Nah, I don't think I did, but that's alright. Don't want to overfeed or nothing. Don't want to do anything like that to the poor little scrumptious salamander. And great. Alright. Today,
Hey,
children... Now, shut the fuck up. Today, children, will be reading Rumpled Foreskin, alright?
No, Grandpa, no. We already read that. We've already read that last week.
I don't want to take advice from you. What did we read last time?
Wait, Grandpa.
Rumpelstiltskin?
Oh, did we read... Oh,
we read the story, yeah.
Oh, okay, alright. So, well, shit. I had this day all planned out and everything, man. Now I gotta fucking reschedule. Goddamn. You know how long it takes to plan these things, kids? Like, hang on, give me a goddamn second.
Not that hard. We come over,
All
you
right.
pick a story, then we leave and get McDonald's.
Okay. I got it. I understand. Yeah.
I don't want to shake right now. With some fries. Sounds really good.
Two little shithead grandson and granddaughter. This is a perfect story for just us, Hansel and Gretel. Yes, this is what we will be reading today because it reminds me of you two. You just constantly eat and you're disgusting. You're vile creatures. I would love to do what's about to happen to the kids in this story. But anyway...
What happens to them?
You will see. That's the point of the story. Now shut the fuck up. And we're going to read this story, alright? Are you ready, children?
I'm ready,
Yes.
Grandpa.
All
Are
right.
you ready, kids?
Here we go.
Aye, Captain.
I'm gonna get some water. Give me a second.
Okay.
Do you guys ever just, like, drink the fuck out of an Aquafina and you just feel rejoiced? Yeah, me neither. That's why I'm not drinking Aquafina. I'm drinking purified spring water. But anywho, back to the story. Near a great forest there lived a poor woodcutter and his wife and his two children. The boys' names were Hansel and the girl's Gretel. They had very little to bite or to sup. And once when there was a great dearth in the land, the man could not even gain the daily bread. This is a story about you guys. As they lie in bed one night thinking of this and turning and tossing, he sighed heavily and said to his wife, "What will become of us? Here we cannot even feed our children. There is nothing left for ourselves." "I will tell you what, husband," answered the wife. "We will take the children early in the morning into the forest where it is the thickest, and we will make them a fire, and we will give each of them a piece of bread. Then we will go to our work and leave them alone." Oh my god. "They will never find the way home again, and we shall be quit of them." Oh my god. "No, wife," said the man, "I cannot do that. I cannot find in my heart to take my children into the forest and to leave them there alone. The wild animals would soon come and devour them." "You fool," she said, "and then we will all four starve. You had better get the coffins ready." And she left him with no peace until he considered. "But I really pity the poor children," said the man. The two children had not been able to sleep for hunger, and had heard what their stepmother had said to their father. Gretel wept bitterly and said to Hansel, "It is all over for us." "Do be quiet, Gretel," said Hansel, "and do not fret. I will manage something."
Oh, sorry. My Uber Eats driver came in with water. Sorry, hold on. Yeah. Is that 270? Okay. All right, cool. Thanks, man. All right, have a good day.
Tony's, you better run.
All right, so no
All
more
right.
interruptions. Yeah, you
I
got
got my water.
You got your food.
Yeah, I got my water.
Yeah, you got your stuff.
Yep, I
everything
got my
good.
water.
All right.
Yep, I got it all. Yep.
All right, that's cool. And when the parents had gone to sleep, he got up, put on his little coat, and opened the back door and slipped out. The moon was shining brightly, and the white flints that lay in front of the house glistened like pieces of silver. Hansel stooped and filled the little pocket of his coat as full as it would hold, and then he went back again and said to Gretel, "Be easy, dear little sister, and go to sleep quietly. God will not forsake us," and laid himself down again in his bed. When the day was breaking, and before the sun had risen, the wife came and awakened the two children, saying, "Get up, you lazy bones. We are going into the forest to cut wood." And then she gave each of them a piece of bread and said, "That is for dinner, and you must not eat it before then, for you will get no more." Gretel carried the bread under her apron, for Hansel had his pockets full of the flint. Then they set off all together on their way to the forest. When they had gone a little way, Hansel stood still and looked back toward the house, and this is he did again and again, till his father said to him, "Hansel, what are you looking at? Take care not to forget your legs." "Oh, father," said Hansel, "I am looking at my little white kitten who is sitting up on the roof to bid me a goodbye." "You young fool," said the woman, "that is not your kitten, but the sunshine on the chimney pot." Of course, Hansel had not been looking at his kitten, but had been taking every now and then a flint from his pocket and dropping it on the road. When they reached the middle of the forest, the father told, flip the page, the children to collect. Hey, if you're done fucking hey, this is your last warning. Chill with the loud fucking drinking. Do you understand?
I'm sorry.
No more. No more. If you're gonna do it, eat quietly. You little shit.
I'm sorry.
I'm reading a story here.
I'm sorry.
All right. Just making sure. Just making sure.
All right.
All right. So anyway, are we good?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Yes.
The children to collect wood to make a fire to keep them warm, and Hansel and Gretel gathered brushwood, enough for a little mountain, and it was set on fire. And when the flames were burning quite high, the wife said, "Now lie down by the fire and rest yourselves, you children, and we will go cut wood. And when we are ready, we will come and fetch you." So Hansel and Gretel sat by the fire, and at noon they each ate their pieces of bread. They thought their father was in the wood all the time, as they seemed to hear the strokes of the axe. But really, it was only a dry branch hanging to a withered tree, and the wind moved and to and fro. Okay, yeah, all right. So when they had stayed there a long time, their eyelids closed with weariness, and they fell asleep. When at last they woke, it was night, and Gretel began to cry and said, "How shall we ever get out of this wood? Get out of this wood." You just take it out of your mouth, you dumb bitch. But Hansel comforted, "Wait a little while longer, until the moon rises, and then we can easily find the way home." And when the full moon got up, Hansel took his little sister, come here bitch, by the hand and followed the way where the flint stones shone like silver, and showed them the road. They walked on the whole night through, and at the break of day they came to their father's house. They knocked at the door, and when the wife opened it and saw it was Hansel and Gretel, she said, "You fucking naughty children! Why did you sleep so long in the woods? We thought you were never coming home again. But the father was glad, for it had gone to his heart to leave them both in the woods alone. Not very long after that, there was again great scarcity in those parts, and the children heard their mother say at night in bed to their father, "Everything is finished up. We have only half a loaf." And after that, the tale comes to an end. The children must be off. We will take them further into the woods this time, so that they shall not be able to find the way back again. There is no other way to manage. The man felt sad at heart, and he thought it would be better to share one's last morsel with one's children. But the wife would not listen. Shinji and Daddy said, but scolded, reproached him. And reproached him. He who says A must say B too. And when a man has given and once he has to do it a second time. Oh, okay. But the children were not asleep and had heard all the talk. When the parents had gone to sleep, Hansel got up to go out and get more flint stones, as he did before, but the wife had locked the door and Hansel could not get out. But he confronted his sister and said, "Don't cry, Gretel, and go to sleep quietly and God will help us." Early the next morning, the wife came and pulled the children out of bed. Come here, you little fuckers. She gave them each a little piece of bread less than before, and on the way to the woods, Hansel crumbled the bread in his pocket and often stopped to throw a crumb on the ground. "Hansel, what are you stopping behind and staring for?" said the father. "I am looking at the little pigeon sitting on the roof to say goodbye to me," answered Hansel. "You fool!" said the wife. "That is no pigeon, but the morning sun shining from the chimney pots." Hansel went on as before and strewed breadcrumbs all along the road. The woman led the children far into the woods, and where they had never been before in all of their lives, and again there was a large fire made, and Mother said, "Sit still there, you children, and when you tried, you can go to sleep. We are going into the forest to cut wood, and in the evening, when we are ready to go home, we will come fetch you." So, when the noon came, Gretel shared her bread with Hansel, who had strode his along the road. Then they went to sleep, and evening passed, and no one came for the poor children. And then...
Oh no. Johnny's run.
No. No! Yes.
Are you done?
Yes. I'm sorry. Okay.
Every time I try to read you a story, you understand?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm sorry.
You got it?
I got it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
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 All right, good talk.
Alright.
Then when you stop, I lost my place. When they woke, it was the poor children then went to sleep and even passed. Fuck it, I'll just start the whole page over. So when noon came, Gretel shared her bread with Hansel, who had strode his along the road. Then they went to sleep and evening passed. No one came for the poor children when they awoke it. And it was dark at night. Duh, that's what makes it night, dipshit. The Hansel confronted his little sister and said, "Wait a little, Gretel, until the moon gets up. Then we shall be able to see the way home by the crumbs of bread I have scattered along it." So when the moon rose, they got up, but they could not find the crumbs of bread. Ooh, for the birds of the woods and of the fields had come and picked them up. Hansel thought they might find the way all the same. But, I lost my spot. But they could not! They went on all that night and the next day from the morning until the evening, but they could not find the way out of the woods. And they were very hungry, for they had nothing to eat but the few berries they could pick up. And when they were so tired that they could no longer drag themselves along, they lay down under the tree and fell asleep. It was now the third morning since they had left their father's house, when they were always trying to get back to it, but instead of that, they only found themselves further in the woods, and if help had not soon come, they would have starved. About noon, they saw a pretty snow-white bird sitting on a bough, and singing so sweetly that they stopped to listen, and when he had finished, the bird spread his wings and flew before them, and they followed him off after him until they came to a little house, and the bird perched on the roof. And when they came nearer, they saw that the house was built of bread and roofed with cakes, and the window was transparent sugar. "We will have some of this," said Hansel, "and make a fine meal. I will eat a piece of the roof, Gretel, and you can have some of the window. That will taste sweet." So Hansel reached up and broke off a bit of the roof just to see how it tasted, and Gretel stood by the window and gnawed at it. When they heard a thin voice call out from inside, "Nibble, nibble like a mouse who is nibbling at my house." And the children answered, "Never mind, 'twas the wind." Okay, yes, cha-cha real smooth. And they went on eating, never disturbing themselves. Hansel, who found that the roof tasted very nice, took down a great piece of it, and Gretel pulled out a large round window pine and sat her down and began upon it. Then the door opened and an aged woman came out, learning. "Do you want to die?
That bitch.
Do you want to die? I will let the sister, absolutely pummel your ass. Do you understand? I'll feed you the axolotl. I'll feed you the Henry boy. Do you understand?"
He looks so menacing.
I know. So now, you must pay attention. You must pay attention to the book. All right. Are you ready? Fantastic. Learning upon a crunch, Hansel and Gretel felt very frightened. Let fall what they had in on their hands. The old woman, however, nodded her head and said, "Ah, my dear children, how come you are here? You must come inside and stay with me. You will be no trouble." So she took them each by the hand and led them into our little house, and where they found a good meal laid out of milk and pancakes with sugar, apples and nuts. After that, she showed them 2 little white beds, and Hansel and Gretel laid themselves down on them and thought they were in heaven. The old woman, although her behavior was so kind, was a wicked witch who lay wait for the children and had built this little house on purpose to entice them. When they were once inside, she used to kill them, cook them, and eat them. And then it was a feasty day with her. The witch's eyes were red, and she could not see very far, but she had a keen sense, like the beasts, and knew very well when human creatures were near. When she knew that Hansel and Gretel were coming, she gave a spiteful laugh and said triumphantly, "I have them! They shall not escape me!" Early in the morning, before the children were awake, she got up and looked at them. And as they lay sleeping so peacefully with round, rosy cheeks, she said to herself, "What a fine feast I shall have." Then she grasped Hansel with her weathered hand and led him into the little stable and shut him up behind the grating, and call and scream as he might, it was no good. Then she went back to Griddle and shook her, crying, "Get up, lazy bones! Fetch water and cook something nice for your brother. He is outside in the stable and must be fattened up. And when he is fat enough, I will eat him." Gretel began to weep bitterly, but it was no use. She had to do what the wicked witch bade her. And so the best find of victuals was cooked for poor Hansel, and while Gretel got nothing but crab shells, each morning the old woman visited the little stables and cried, "Hansel, stretch out your finger, that I may tell if you will soon be fat enough." Hansel, however, used to hold out a little bone, and the old woman, who had weak eyes, could not see what it was, and supposing it was Hansel's finger, wondered very much that it was not getting fatter. When 4 weeks had passed, and Hansel seemed to remain so thin, she lost patience and could wait no longer. "Now then, Gretel," cried she to the little girl, "be quick and draw water to be Hansel fat, or be he lean. Tomorrow I must kill and cook him." Oh, what a grief the poor little sister to have to fetch water, and how the tears flowed down her cheek. "Dear God, pray help us," cried she. "If we had been devoured by wild beasts in the wood, at least we should have died together. Spare me your lamentations," said the old woman. "They are of no avail." Early the next morning, Gretel had to get up and make the fire and fill the kettle. "First we will do the baking," she said. "The old woman, we have heated the oven already. Yes, we have heated the oven already and knead the dough." She pushed poor Gretel towards the oven, out of which the flames were already shining. "Creep in," said the witch, "and see if it is properly hot, so that the bread may be baked." And Gretel, once she meant to shut the door upon her and left her be baked. And let her be baked. And then she would have eaten her. But Gretel perceived her intentions and said, "I don't know how to do that. Shall I get in?" "Stupid goose," said the old woman. "The opening is big enough. Do you see? I could get in myself." And she stooped down to put her head in the oven's mouth. Then Gretel gave her a push, so that she went in further, and she shut the iron door upon her and put up the bar. Oh, how frightfully she howled! But Gretel ran away and left the wicked witch to burn miserably. Gretel went straight to Hansel, opened the stable door, and cried, "Hansel, we are free! The old witch is dead!" Then out flew Hansel like a bird from its cage as soon as the door opened. How rejoiced they both were! How they fell each other on the other's neck and danced about and kissed each other. Oh, kinky. And as they had nothing more to fear, they went over all the old witch's house, and in every corner stood chests of pearls and precious stones. "This is something better than flintstones," said Hansel, as he filled his pockets, and Gretel, thinking she also would like to carry something home with her, filled her apron full. "Now away we go," said Hansel, "if we only can get out of this witch's woods." When they had journeyed a few hours, they came to a great piece of water. We can never get across this," said Hansel. "I see no stepping stones and no bridge, and there is no boat either," said Gretel. "But there comes a white duck. If I ask her, she will help us over." So she cried, "Duck, duck, here we stand, Hansel and Gretel on the land. Stepping stones and bridges we lack. Carry us over on your nice white back." It's kind of racist. And the duck came accordingly, and Hansel got upon her and told his sister to come to. No, answered Gretel, that would be too hard upon the duck. We can go separately, one after the other. And that was how it was managed. And after that, they went on happily until they came to the wood, and the way grew more and more familiar, till at last they saw in the distance their father's home. When they ran till they came up to it, rushed in at the door, and fell on their father's neck. The man not had a quiet hour since he left his children in the woods. But the wife was dead. And when Gretel opened her apron, and pearls and precious stones were scattered all over the room, Hansel took one handful after the other out of his pocket, and then was all care at an end, and they lived in a great joy together. Seeing everyone, my story is done, and look around the house. There runs a little mouse. He that can catch her before she scampered in may make himself a fur cup out of her skin. What? That's it. That's all. That's all.
Wow, Grandpa.
I like how they just fucking gloss over how the wife just dies. He's like, oh yeah, the wife's dead.
I left like half through to get some Mexicans to know though. I know it.
What are you guys whispering? I don't have my hearing aids in. What?
Nothing.
Not nothing. But nothing.
Really good story, Grandpa.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's-
Okay. Can you guys feed the axolotl while you guys go?
Yeah, here I got him.
Yes,
No,
alright.
I want to feed Henry. Or feed him.
Oh, it's too late. It's too late. That food's expensive. Just a couple pellets will do. That'll be fine. Now, shoo.
I pushed it twice. It's fine.
Out of
Bye,
my
Grandpa.
house. Out of the house. Yeah, now I need to put this fucking book up. And I hope they come across the fucking witch. Little fucking miscreants. But now that it's just you and me.
Also, Grandpa, I forgot to tell you.
Why is it you always cut every single time? I'm trying to have sex with the axolotl, alright? And you little fuckers want to leave me alone. Now get out!
Alright.
Get out! Oh yeah. Now it's time. I'm going. There he goes. You ran so far.